Tesla sales in Europe have fallen nearly 50% compared to this time last year, as the electric car maker continues to face brand damage. The slump comes despite total EV sales in Europe rising 28% as consumers seek affordable Chinese-manufactured alternatives. Jim Saker is president of the Institute of Motor Industry at Loughborough University. Always a pleasure having you on the show, Jim. Now, I need to ask you, is this more about Elon Musk, the man, than the attractiveness and price point of what it's got to offer?
I think it's a combination of both. You know, the drop in sales year on year of almost 50% is just dramatic. And a lot of it was actually started by the reputational damage and his alignment with the far right. But there is, it's almost like a perfect storm against Tesla, that you've got emerging brands, the old legacy manufacturers like Volkswagen, Renault, Volvo, etc., are people who are introducing new products, plus the Chinese, with especially BYD and SAIC, being very strong players now. The product is excellent, and basically Elon Musk is facing a big challenge. I think the most interesting one is in the UK, because the UK was very slow. When the downfall started, the UK stayed fairly stable with Tesla, but come April, there was a drop year on year of 62%, which suggests that basically company car policy in the UK is moving against Tesla. Boardrooms are going, we don't want to be associated with this type of reputation of the far right, and therefore taking the Tesla off their company car lists.
So let's talk about the competition that's hot on its heels. So let's start with China. China's BYD registered more new cars than Tesla in April. I mean, is that because of price, like how BYD is selling its entry-level car for, I think it's 75% less than the cheapest Tesla? Or again, do other factors come into play?
I think it is the improved product quality from BYD. You know, when they first came to Europe, was it 10, 12 years ago, they launched a vehicle and it looked like a battery on wheels. Now this is a sophisticated vehicle. It's got, the whole range is very strong, and therefore that they are a major threat to most players, including the legacy ones, but especially Tesla, that basically have got a very tired product range in Europe at the moment. They haven't launched a new car in Europe since 2021.
And what about those legacy European car makers that you've been mentioning? Are you saying they're no longer idling in the EV slow lane?
I think they've definitely accelerated, and along with the hybrid cars and the EVs, their combination of those two together are very strong. And therefore, because people know the brands haven't been tarnished by Elon Musk. And also, they're not new brands like the BYDs and the SAICs of this world. Therefore, they do have a position, and that position is being strengthened by a decent product coming on the market.
This industry has many twists and turns. It's fast changing. How do you see the next 2 to 3 years shifting gears?
I think there's going to be an increasing amount of competition coming from China. I think that's going to be a factor. I think a lot will hinge on tariff barriers that are put up. If they think there's unfair competition, maybe 1 or 2 European countries that would view the subsidies and maybe the cheap workforce in China, etc., that type of thing, being an unfair factor in the trade situation. So tariffs could come into play. But it's going to be a very intense competition in the EV market going forward, because with good Chinese product, legacy companies actually having decent products as well, and Tesla assuming that they are going to try and fight back, it's going to be a really interesting market over the next 2 or 3 years. Especially if Tesla come out with a decent product, because you always come back to the factor that the car is the star. You know, if the car is great, then people will be drawn towards it. Obviously, the combination of price is another factor, but it's how that works together. And at the moment, Tesla is losing. It's losing badly. BYD jumped 169% in year on year this past year in Europe. So they're a very strong player. And with other Chinese manufacturers coming on board, I think it's going to be a really interesting time.
Jim Saker at the Institute of Motor Industry at Loughborough University, thank you.